Welcome back to the StruckByBelz Cooldown, episode 7.
Yes, episode 7. We haven't been recording the podcast for the last couple of weeks because we've been super, super busy with the holidays and stuff. Like, I feel like every time, the holidays, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, and of course, our birthdays are falling under these months as well. It's very busy for us, and like this time around it's been busy again, and even busier probably because we had graduations this time we had to go to as well. And
And now we have kids that we have to celebrate their birthdays as
right,
well.
not only our birthdays, we have to celebrate our kids' birthday now, so it's like, yeah, it's gotten busier over the years, this season for us. So it's weird how that works. Like, we don't plan it that way, but obviously these 2 months, November and December, are just really, really busy for us. But
I feel like we also let the community know, like, hey, the holidays are really busy for us, specifically November and December, because, like you just mentioned, birthdays, graduations, the holidays, anniversary. So yeah, like I feel like that's the reason why we haven't posted a podcast in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been like
we're back
because we were missing 1 week every now and then because we were going to Miami and back. But like, we missed 2 weeks last time because we had stuff going on both, because we record the podcast on Thursdays, so we weren't able to be at home to record it, so we couldn't record it these last few weeks. But obviously moving forward, this will be more consistent. You guys will get the episodes every week, every Friday. That's when we want to post it, obviously. But these last couple of weeks has just been tough to record the podcast. And the World Cup was going on as well.
Oh, I think that was that one of there was a game on Thursday, on a specific Thursday.
No, I don't think we didn't do the podcast because of a World Cup game. There was a few days where Argentina was playing like in the afternoon or whatever, so we couldn't record because I had to be stuck on the screen because I had to. One thing like about watching soccer is like, I don't know why, like I don't really get like that. I guess I get like that a little bit with basketball, but I always get like these superstitious vibes. I don't know if you ever heard
superstitions.
Yeah, superstitions. Like if I don't watch it, like
they're gonna lose.
They're gonna lose. Like I have to be watching and supporting or whatever, because for some way somehow I feel like I'm contributing to the win.
Like, you swear you're part of the team.
Yo.
Like you, like even like, let's say when we watch basketball and you're watching the Hornets because we're
LaMelo. I'm not watching no Hornets now.
Yeah, no,
I'm
but
not
you
a Hornets
are watching
fan.
the game.
I watch LaMelo, right?
You would literally stand up in front of the screen, in front of the TV, pretend like you're dribbling the ball, and like pretending you're shooting.
Oh, when it free throws. Like oh yeah, it's a superstition. Yeah,
like you swear.
Like
that's gonna help.
Sometimes I don't know what it is. Like everybody has their own superstition or whatever, but yeah, like sometimes when some of the players that are shooting the free throws or whatever, like I just make it like I just practice like I'm shooting the free throws too. And like in my head, I'm like, okay, if I get the form right, they're gonna make it or whatever. I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I do sometimes. But I'm sure everybody has their own superstition. But yeah, like I do that with sports and soccer for sure. Like, because I'm super passionate about Argentina and my team, and and we won the World Cup. It was such an amazing moment for Argentina to win the World Cup after 30 plus years. It was such a long time. I know we spoke about it a little bit in our Blue Lock video.
Oh yeah.
About when Argentina actually won the World Cup, and we spoke about it. But speaking about it here, it was just so emotional. Like I felt like it was just a long time coming, because we've rooting for this team. It's just been disappointment after disappointment over the years. And they just finally got over the hump, and they didn't make it easy. And that's the Argentina way. We have to suffer through it, even through the wins and through the losses. It's all about suffering with this team. And even with the final against France, like we got a 2-0 lead, comfortable. I started crying at 2-0. I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna happen. We're gonna do it. And sure enough, 80th minute, Mbappe, got a penalty. And Argentina let them back in the game, sure enough, and it went up
and
2-2.
then scored a goal.
And they scored a goal, and they scored another goal to make it 2-2.
Yeah.
And
at that point, a minute and a half.
Yeah, and at that point, I was like, oh my gosh, don't tell me this is going to happen again. Because I've seen this movie before. Like, this is not new to me. Like, I've seen this movie play out before with Argentina. And, you know, like, the thoughts started creeping in my head, like, yep, here we go again. Here we go again with this. Yeah. But then I was like, you know what? Nah, we're not going to lose this one. Like, we've been through so many. Like, and I even tweeted, I was like, of course, you know, this is what Argentina does. Of course, they let him back in the game, but I still believe, because I've been saying since the World Cup started. I'm like, I was speaking to Toast. Toast is one of our editors. Well, he is our editor. We don't have no other editor. Well, you edit the videos, but yes, but yes, sure. Yeah. That's not what I was referring to. Yeah. Toast is our editor. He's also Argentinian, and I was telling Toast, and I was like, we're gonna win this World Cup. Like, this team is not like the other teams I personally have seen over the years. You know, I started watching Argentina at the age of 5, and obviously I was still a young kid, you know, watching them here and there. But when I really started getting into you know, Argentina soccer, it was during a World Cup. I don't know if it was in 1998 or it was 2002, but it was during a World Cup, and then I think they lost to England in 1998, and then they lost again in 2002 in the group stages, when they had probably the best team in the whole World Cup. Like, I think they were number 1. They flew by the qualifying rounds. They were number 1 in qualifying as well. And they had this guy named Batistuta. He was like the main striker, and they had Zanetti, Vito, and all these guys. And these guys were really good. And they were saying Argentina was one of the favorites to win that World Cup. And they got knocked out of the group stages. And then I remember my grandfather was like devastated, because he's a long Argentina fan, long life Argentina fan. And he was devastated. He was crying. And, you know, he's an old man. And so I'm sure he saw Maradona, because he was like 50 something at the time. I'm sure he saw Maradona play when they won that World Cup as well. And I think that's when he started he started becoming a fan in 78. And then 86 with Maradona and all that stuff. So he was an Argentina fan for a while, but he was crying. He was devastated that they didn't win. And I remember telling him, like, you know what? I'm going to keep rooting for this team. They're going to win one day. They're going to win the World Cup one day. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, I've just been following Argentina, always following, always watching. And you know, my grandfather passed away. I think he passed away that year. He passed away that year. Yeah, in 2002. Yeah, my grandfather passed away in 2002. And wow. Yeah, he passed away in 2002. And you know, damn, now that I think about it, yeah, he passed away in 2002.
That same year that they lost.
Yeah, he passed away in 2002. Yeah. And you know, I've been watching Argentina ever since then. And, you know, in Haiti, you know, people ask, you know, am I Argentinian? Why do I root for them? That's one thing I don't understand about, like, people that watch, you know, the World Cup in soccer. Like, who cares where you're from and what team you're rooting for? Like, you root for a team you don't want to root for. Like that, like, I don't see an issue with that. And people want to bring race and all that stuff. I'm like, dude, this is like, why are we bringing political and you know, race into the, like, look, if that's what you want to focus on, then focus on that. But don't get on other people for rooting for a team that's a sport. It's a sport. If people want to root for the team they want to root for, it doesn't, like, that shouldn't matter to anyone. You know, like, and people want to bring racism and different things. There's racism everywhere. There's racism on the land that I'm at right now, which is the United States of America. Probably one of the most racist places still on this planet. You know, obviously we've gone a long way still, but there's certain parts of America I would not want to go. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't want to step in those places. So, but that's anywhere.
That's like you rooting for LaMelo, right, and the Hornets while we live in Florida. Yeah, you know, it's like different. Like, mm-hmm. You don't live in North Carolina. They're in North Carolina, right? Mm-hmm. You don't live in North Carolina. Why are you
rooting for LaMelo?
Rooting for correct. A place that you don't even live. Like, that doesn't that doesn't even make sense.
That is a good point. That's a good point, because obviously I'm from Miami and I love the Heat, mm-hmm. but I do root for LaMelo. I watch LaMelo more than I even watch Miami Heat right now, because that's my favorite player in the NBA. Mm-hmm. So that's a good point. But yeah, so in Haiti, there's like two different teams that Haitians usually root for. It's either Brazil or Argentina. And I happen to fall in the camp where I root for Argentina, where my brother, my twin brother, he actually roots for Brazil. In Haiti, obviously, we don't have a very rich history of soccer. Like our soccer teams have never been great or whatever. So Haitians usually root for the best teams, like the teams they find the most they're the best at the sport, right? So they root for Brazil and they root for Argentina. Some people root for France, some people root for Italy or whatever, but majority is Argentina and Brazil. And you know, seeing throughout the years, Argentina losing and losing and losing to Brazil, to all these teams, it just felt like it was never gonna happen, right? But when I saw this team, and even with Messi in the past, like losing all these finals to Chile, he lost like multiple Copa America to Chile, lost the World Cup to Germany in 2014, which broke my heart. It just felt like maybe he wasn't gonna do it. But when this team got put together, when Luis Scaloni, the coach of Argentina, when he got put in charge, he wasn't even supposed to be the coach. He was supposed to be an interim coach for a couple games, and they were looking for another coach. And they liked what he did during those games and how he managed the team. They were like, you know what, we're going to keep this guy on. They kept him on, and he just changed the whole culture of that team, because all the players...
What year was that?
I forget what year he got on. He became in charge of the team. I forget. But most of the players, if not all the players from the 2018 World Cup, are not even there no more, besides Messi. He changed everybody. Everybody was gone.
Wait, so they're not even part of the team?
They're not even on the team anymore.
They're not sitting on the bench?
No, they're not sitting on the bench or anything.
Damn.
Aguero was there for a bit, but then he retired last year, but he was still on the team. But he retired last year, so he's not there no more, even though he celebrated with the team this time around. But yeah, the players that he put around Messi and the players that I started seeing.
Oh, so he built the team around Messi.
He built the team around Messi.
Okay.
They've tried that before, but he not only did he build the team around Messi, he built the team to not depend on Messi. Because a lot of times, when Messi became
hurt, injured.
No, when Messi started becoming prevalent on the Argentina team, because he was the best player in the world, you started seeing the Argentina teams rely on Messi too much. Like, give Messi the ball, let him go. But it was easy for the other teams to defend Messi. They would always put multiple players around him and cage him, and he wouldn't be able to get free and get loose. But this time around, I think they left Acuna. Acuna was still on the team too. So Acuna and Messi are still part of the original team. The original team, I believe, from 2018. But yeah, so point is, he built these guys, like he built this team, and he put these guys around Messi and younger guys, very young guys, Rodrigo de Paul, Enzo, as well as Alvarez and Emiliano Martinez, the goalkeeper. Like, oh my gosh, that guy, man.
If it wasn't for him,
he saved
you guys
us.
Would have lost. We
would have lost again. I think.
Like, yeah, that save at the very end, like, that turned the match around
100%. Like, and like, you got Enzo, best young player, Alvarez, great striker, and you have like Lautaro Martinez coming off the bench because he used to be a starter, but he was going through his stuff. But I actually like Lautaro because we had this guy named Gonzalo Higuain. Dude would always mess up. He would always just like, shrink in the biggest moments. But Lautaro Martinez, even on the Copa America run, he always impressed me because I was like, this guy, he doesn't. I don't think he doesn't really need. He could get his goals. He doesn't really need Messi like that. Messi could give him a through pass every now and then. But I always had confidence in him. But for some reason in the World Cup, he wasn't showing up, right? And like the Saudi Arabia game, the first game, he was scoring a lot of goals, but they kept calling offside on him. And I think for some reason that's something. And supposedly he was hurt as well, but I think after that game, like psychologically, because he wasn't scoring that goal, like with a striker, they need to score to have their confidence. And when they're not scoring, for some reason they shrank. And when they kept taking those goals away from him after the Saudi Arabia game, I felt like he shrunk a bit. And then they put Alvarez in, which is probably a blessing in disguise for Argentina.
I mean, I don't know if it was, did he make a goal in the final? He did.
Not in the final, semifinal.
Okay, semifinal. I think he scored, was it 2?
He scored 2 goals,
like 2
I believe.
Goals, yeah. So he contributed a lot to winning the World Cup.
Yeah, he scored 4 goals total in the World Cup. And the thing I love about Alvarez, which I think gave Argentina a different dimension, he was pressing a lot. Like, he was fast. Like the other team, every time they would be in their own half and having the ball, knocking the ball, passing the ball amongst each other, Alvarez would always run after them, and he would almost catch up and get the ball from them and score the goal, which happened to Australia once. He got the ball from the goalie and he scored the goal. That did not exist with Lautaro Martinez. He wasn't pressing as much because he probably doesn't have that much stamina than Alvarez. Alvarez was giving us that dimension because Messi can't press. He's too old. He's 35 now. He needs to conserve his energy throughout the game because he plays the whole game.
Yeah.
But Alvarez gave us that dimension. And I think him and Enzo were like the 2 changes, the 2 young guys. And Rodrigo de Paul as well. Paredes was good too. McAllister was awesome as well. A lot of young guys they put around Messi that wanted to win for Messi, but not only for Messi, but they wanted to win for Argentina as well.
Yeah. And you could see it on the field.
The passion, the passion that these guys had, the drive, the focus that they had, even though they would lose focus at the end of the game and always let the team come back.
Like I remember like a reporter, he was saying, oh, like, here we go again. Argentina is like letting their emotions get the best of them. They always do this. And I was like, oh man, like this is it. Like, yeah. Because I think the score was 2-2. And I'm like, yeah, like, I don't know if part of me was like, I think deep down inside, I was like, okay, they're going to win. But a part of me also was like, oh, like they could lose this. Yeah.
Yeah. And the belief I had in this team because the amount of passion that they had and the amount of, and the way they played, this is not the same Argentina that didn't play defense. Because a lot of times we'd rely on our offense so much. But this time around, we had a very balanced midfield and a very balanced defense. And that's when I was like, and the way the coaches, his tactics, I was like, whoa, this is different from what Argentina does. Argentina usually relies on their offense like all the time. Heavy. But now, like, specifically in the Copa America and the way we were playing, like, we would get 1 goal up and we would sit back and counterattack. Argentina was never a counterattack team. They would always have the ball, like the possession of the ball. We want the ball and passing amongst each other and get the goal. Okay. We keep the possession. But this time around, we'd keep the possession for the first goal. We'd play Argentina football for the first goal. But after we get the first goal, we'd back up. We'd wait. We would absorb the attack and then we go on the counterattack. And I was like, wow, this could work. This could really work. And the players that we have, these midfield guys that could just go after the ball, this can really work. And that's when I started having confidence in this team. And obviously they wanted to win for Messi, and Messi was becoming more of a leader. They were crying. You saw the passion. I was like, if a team could do it, it would be this team.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I don't want to say I was right, but I believed. I believed that they were going to do it.
And because of your superstitions?
And because of my exactly. There you go. Exactly. Because I believed and I did not shake that belief.
Yeah.
I was,
100%.
I feel like, but look, as a fan, I was super happy. I know Argentina fans around the world. Did you see the crowds?
You showed me on Twitter.
Oh my! Like they had
you're talking about the parade, right?
Yeah. Like even before the parade, the crowds in Argentina in the streets were just insane.
Well, a lot of people were saying this was the best World Cup match.
I think so. I think this was the best final.
I don't think I've ever watched a World Cup ever.
Right.
But this specific match, like, it had my heart like racing because it was just going back and forth. And it wasn't like someone was like ahead the whole time. And You're like, okay, this team won already. It literally just had you on the edge of your seat throughout the whole match.
For sure. So, of course, as a new fan to soccer, how did
I think I'm a fan now.
Right. Yeah, I think you are now.
I think so.
Because as a new fan, how did you like the compared to like other sports you've watched? Because you've watched other sports.
I just watch basketball.
Basketball, right? You've watched football, right? But
I don't
mostly basketball.
Really watch football.
Do you think the intensity and like how do you feel about the intensity of soccer, and how does it make you feel on the inside? Watching a game go down to the wire, or like so much at stake. How did you feel watching that? Like, did you feel like butterflies? Did you feel worried? Did you feel like anxious?
Yeah. So I'm just going to compare it to basketball because that's the sport that I watch the most. Well, okay, let's backtrack. I'm going to start with the fans.
Okay.
Let's start with the fans. I feel like football fans are more passionate. I see a lot more passion and emotion on the stands. And I don't see that much in basketball. I see maybe a few fans who are sad that their team lost, but I feel like it's nothing compared to football. And also, like, with the game itself, I think soccer is more like a slow, like, what do you consider like a slow pace game compared to basketball? Because basketball is very like within like 10 seconds, like both teams can be scoring. With soccer, that doesn't really exist. Like within the first 10 or within 10 seconds, you can't have both teams scoring.
Right.
So I think like the pace of the game is just like different, but I feel like soccer is more intense in my opinion.
Yeah. So going back to my question about watching. Did
I not answer your question?
That helped, but
okay.
How did you feel?
Oh, me specifically.
How did you feel watching? Let's say you were rooting for Argentina. How did you feel? Let's say the final. You saw like France equalized. They were going back and forth.
Yeah.
How did you feel on the inside watching that game? Like, were your eyes glued to the TV? Were you like, I don't know.
Okay,
so tell me those emotions. What were the emotions
when I watch sports,
as like, someone as a neutral party.
Yeah. So when I watch sports, I see like the game getting like really close, I gotta walk away because my heart starts pounding and I feel like I have a knot in my throat and I feel like I'm literally gonna throw up. So with the Argentina game, I found myself like walking away from the TV and just like going into the kitchen and doing something else, trying to get my mind off of like what's going on. And then I'll kind of like peek. I'm like, okay, like they're looking okay. But that's how I don't know, like if it's like too close, I would just like walk away. I'm not gonna just like sit there and like watch every second of the game. I just get nervous.
No.
Versus you, like you would just would like.
No, I'm glued.
You're glued to the TV.
I'll be glued to the TV, but I'm super nervous. Like I do feel like my heart is racing, and like like you said, knot in your throat or whatever. Like I'm anxious. I'm very anxious.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I guess that's my superstition. If I'm watching it, they're gonna lose. So I find myself walking away. To let them do their thing. Right. And then I'll come back when they're winning.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. But yeah, exactly. Like, the thing, what you were talking about soccer being a slower paced game and stuff like that.
Compared to basketball.
Right. Basketball is up and down the court. Up and down the court. But the thing about basketball that's different from soccer is that, yes, you don't get to score right away in soccer is because there's more people on the field. It's 11v11, and
it's a bigger field. It's a bigger.
It's a much bigger space.
Yeah, it's a bigger space.
So that's one. Two, it's because I've always had this conversation with people that.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. I do want to add that I feel like the goals in football are much sweeter than the shots made in basketball. Because they work so hard for that one goal. Like so much has to happen for that goal to happen, for that ball to get in the goal versus a shot. It's like I feel like it's much easier to get a shot in basketball versus getting a goal in soccer.
Correct. It is easier to score in basketball than to score in soccer, and the goals mean more.
They mean more.
They mean more than the points mean.
I 100% agree with that.
I need to stop saying soccer because
football. Yeah, I'm saying soccer too.
Than basketball, right? So, but yeah, I've always had this conversation with people, specifically growing up and watching football. It's like, which sport do you think you get more tired at? Football or basketball? And it's always a hard question because, in football, you can play the whole game and not get out, right? Because in football, you only have a certain amount of substitutions and you can't come back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
In basketball, you could go to the bench and come back, go to the bench and come back. And, I guess you probably get more tired at basketball because you're running down the court consistently.
I don't think so.
But I don't think so.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because basketball is indoors and
Mm-hmm.
soccer is outdoors. And in football, you're playing through different seasons, like different weather changes. Different environments.
Mm-hmm.
Versus
a controlled environment.
Yeah, versus basketball, yes, if you travel, there might be like a higher altitude, like there might be environmental changes, but not as drastic as football.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In my opinion. I might be wrong, but
no, you're probably right about that because I've always thought maybe football gets you more tired, because like you were saying, like, basketball is like more fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in football, I feel like you could get more tired. I feel like depending on your position, because if you're like but then defenders could go all the way. It's a tough question. Because when you look at football players and you look at basketball players, most football players are really fit. Like they are beyond fit.
They're like ripped.
Like super, super fit.
Mm-hmm.
And basketball players, some of them are very bulky, like LeBron per se. LeBron is a big dude, you know what I'm saying? And he's bulky. So like
even the defenders.
Imagine LeBron playing football. Like I don't think he'll last because he's not. He needs to be more fit, or Zion per se.
Well, yeah, because in basketball you have like the center, like who's a naturally bigger player.
That too.
And then you have like, let's say, a defender in soccer. That defender is probably in better shape than that center, even though they're not an offensive player. Mm-hmm. And they're a defender.
So we can say that soccer has the fittest players, right?
Yeah.
Soccer has the fittest players. Or football. Let me stop. It's just vocabulary, right?
We live in America.
Correct. But when I was in Haiti, I never called it soccer. But it's
but
I've been Americanized.
Americanized.
But yeah. So football has the fitter players, and it's the best sport around the world. Because that's the thing. Another thing too. Football is the sport of the world. Mm-hmm. The world plays football. Basketball. Yes, the world is starting to play more basketball around the world, but it's really a North American sport. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's the same thing with American football. It's not really. The rest of the world doesn't really fully, engage in that sport, right? So football, on the other hand, is the sport of the world, and I do feel like to me, football is is more enjoyable for me because I feel like there's more at stake. The storylines are more important, specifically with something like the World Cup, where it's a very prestigious and not only valuable but exclusive trophy, exclusive award. There's a very, very few number of people that have a World Cup gold medal and a trophy. Very, very few, right? Compared to like basketball, whatever. Like
you don't have the World Cup for basketball.
Yeah, basketball is there, and you have the
Olympics.
That would
actually be cool.
Yeah, the Olympics, but the Olympics is not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same, and especially with
because you focus on so many different sports,
right? And especially when the rest of the world doesn't really play basketball like that. The competition is not the same. It's starting to get up there. I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to get there, but the USA have been so dominant in that sport. It's like, the rest of the world is not really there compared to football, where almost there's a lot of countries that are alive. Like a lot of countries are alive for that trophy. Every time the World Cup comes around, it could be any out of maybe 5 European teams and maybe 3 South American teams. I don't really see anybody else really. Africa's starting to make improvements. Asia's making improvements. But besides South America and Europe, I don't really see. But yeah, out of any given point, eight teams could get that cup. Compared to basketball, it's like, okay, it's gonna be USA.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like it's different. That's where I feel like the it's not that it's matter more, but there's more at stake when it comes to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Right. That's where I feel, and not only the World Cup, you have club football as well. That's also the same. There's a lot of stake at a lot of stakes in that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stop talking about Argentina
right now. That's like your favorite subject.
No, I had to give him the
Steph can talk about Argentina for days.
Yeah, I had to give him the floor. Argentina won the World Cup. I'm so proud
give them their flowers.
Congratulations to Argentina. Congratulations to the players. We deserve it. You guys deserve it. And let's go for one more.
I know that would be awesome.
Hey, we got the young players. You got the talent. Hey, we could go again. Like, don't underestimate Argentina. We could go again. But yeah. So
so I put up a post on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do a little Q&A on our podcast because I feel like we used to do Q&As often, like back in the day when we first started YouTube, but I feel like we haven't really updated the fam. So we're going to go ahead and answer some questions.
Okay, let's go.
Before we close out.
Oh, we got to do anime of the week before we close out.
I know, but we'll see how much we can get in.
We'll get in.
So there's a lot of questions here, so I'm just gonna scroll and stop at a random one.
Stop at the questions you want to.
Yeah. Okay. So first question: was there ever anything that happened that made you want to quit YouTube?
Was there anything that happened that made me want to quit YouTube? Okay, Ace just jumped here because he wanted to.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's anything that's happened that made me want to quit YouTube. YouTube is very YouTube can be up and down sometimes because of algorithm things, and when you put out content out there, people, because we work hard to record our videos and edit the videos and stuff like that, and
it can be discouraging at times.
Yeah, when you don't see a video perform and you don't see people like the video, people watch the video, people, it can be discouraging, right? It can be discouraging, but that's the thing about YouTube. That's the nature of things. Some people won't watch certain content, and specifically with the type of content that we don't make one set. Certain people, they have that one content all the time, like the specific content, like the gym videos, always gym videos, or
they'll mix up their content.
Or Destiny video, it's always a Destiny video. For us, we're more.
Let's try to keep it short and sweet because we want to answer as many questions as we can.
We're more variety kind of in some ways because we do a specific thing with the anime reactions, but we don't stick to one anime.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
And throughout the seasons, there could be an anime that's popping off like Chainsaw Man or Bleach or whatever. But in next season, what's going to be the one popping off, right? So if people are not interested in any animes that season, we have to find and know what the viewers want from us, right? And some videos we'll put out and they don't do views and they won't get attention, and it is discouraging because we put a lot of work and effort into these videos, and but no, we never thought about quitting. Never thought about quitting. But it could get discouraging sometimes. But you just gotta be resilient and keep pushing.
Yeah. That was like the military in you, I feel like. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I feel like I never wanted to quit, but I felt discouraged a lot of times. Like you said, there would be content that we work hard and like we didn't get the response that we thought it deserved. Yeah. Or we wanted. We expected. And so like it's a bummer. But I don't, and sometimes the comments can be really mean.
Yeah.
I feel like that's also discouraging too.
The internet fosters a negative mindset,
and some things that are just like put on the internet like that are not even true. It's like It's like
Yeah.
it's like
what are you gonna do?
It sucks. That part does suck, but
Right.
I guess it comes with the territory, right?
Yeah.
Next question. How are you guys doing? Any plans for the channel for the next year?
Yes. So we're doing great. Thank you for asking. Who is that? Do you have a name?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm sorry. The first person was moist.
Okay.
I know a lot of people don't like that word. And then this one right here was Pavan. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Pavan Kilari.
Okay, you tried.
I'm
Okay.
trying.
But yes, we're doing fine, Pavan, and yeah, we have a couple plans for the channel moving forward. Obviously, the podcast was one of the plans that we started implementing on the channel now. In the future, we have plans of changing this room to be more um, to be better for us for our podcasting. Obviously, the room will be set for reactions as well and streaming, but also podcasting. Right, we want to change the room up and everything for that. But in the new year,
Podcasting.
we do want to start streaming a lot again. We want to start streaming on YouTube because we used to stream in the past, but we stopped that for a bit. But obviously, we have kids now and everything.
Yeah.
But the kids are getting older. We're starting to get more of a stability again. So we want to, have a schedule and actually push content daily, schedule wise, and also have streaming. Streaming probably, we'll start off maybe twice a week.
Yeah.
And then because we want to build more of that community and we want to, talk to you guys and engage with you guys and
live in real time. Because I feel like we'll be able to have maybe a stronger like connection or like a stronger community through streams.
Correct.
So yeah, I guess streams is like what we're really
main thing
focus on for next year, right? And the podcast. Okay, next question. These freaking names, guys. Wet_gobbler.
Oh my gosh.
Like what?
Wet gobbler. Oh man.
Okay, any other creative outlets you guys enjoy besides making videos?
Any other creative? Go ahead,
I'll go first.
Question, yeah.
I feel like not as of recently, because this, I've been working on something for a while now, on and off, and I feel like that has been like my creative outlet because I'm able to use my creativity to create something, and I've been really enjoying that. And hopefully next year, you guys will be able to see it and I can share with you guys, and you guys will be able to what's the word, like not encourage but support. You guys will be able to like support me through that.
For sure. And you've been working on that for a minute.
Yeah, I still am. Yeah, I'm just waiting on some stuff.
For sure. But for me, I really want to start streaming a lot more. I feel like streaming is where I feel like that's where my passion really lies. And I've spoken about that before. I feel like I want to stream more, want to play more video games and, connect with the community and talk about random stuff online and stuff. And, be creative with that, with video form content, with streaming content. And that's where I feel like that's what next year is going to be about, like, more streaming, more fostering a community, things like that.
Good answer. This question is going to be just for you because you're the one who plays Pokemon. Okay, this is easyjonathan.vel. What is your favorite new gen?
Okay, Gen 9 Pokemon. Gen 9 Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet, currently playing right now. My favorite new gen Pokemon out of Scarlet and Violet would have to be, it's either Roaring Moon, which it's not really a new Pokemon, it's just a redesign of Salamence. But it probably be Armor Rouge. I think I really, really enjoy Armor Rouge. I'll go with that. I'll go with Armor Rouge.
Okay. I thought this would be funny to answer.
Or Meowscarada. I really love Meowscarada as well.
Sylvie, how often you two fight?
Not often.
Not often at all.
You know, any couple goes through their arguments and different things, but
we don't
fight. We don't fight. We like have little arguments and discussions and disagreements. And
I think it's more
things,
I think it's more disagreements, and they're so small. Like we usually get over it. It's like it would be something like Steph forgot to wash the dishes, and that'll upset me, and that's our disagreement.
Yeah,
but we don't argue often.
Yeah, we don't argue. We just have, random, like, any couple disagreements every now and then, because we both have our own opinions humans. On things. But we don't fight. We don't get into anything like that. That's not really us.
Okay. Next question. And that was, I already said his name. Let's see. I guess we have time for one more question.
We can do 2 more questions.
Okay, 2 more questions. Let's see. If you watch football, what's your top 5 player excluding Messi? I'm not going to answer this because I don't really know any soccer players like that.
Okay. So top 5 excluding Messi for football. Okay, we'll go Neymar. We'll go Ronaldo, R9. We'll go Zidane. We'll go Cristiano Ronaldo. And we'll go Ronaldinho.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question. Mongolian Anime Network. How did you guys first meet? I met through a mutual friend, right? Long story short. Right. Mutual friend.
Yeah. My brother, per se. But
sure.
But yeah, he's a friend. But yes, I call him my brother.
Yeah.
Ron.
Yeah.
We went through Ron. I hit up Ron. I told him, yo, I heard you work with this girl. I think she's cute. Tell her I want to talk to her. That's it. And then it started.
That was like the 20-year-old stuff. 21-year-old stuff.
Yeah, 21-year-old me. And that's when it happened.
Yeah.
We started talking.
Been together ever since.
Got your number then? Did I get your number there, or did I get your number online? On Instagram, whatever.
Yeah, you hit me up through Instagram.
Did I get it there?
Mm-hmm.
I think I did.
I think I still have. I can go back to my comments and see that whole conversation. Because you commented under a picture of mine.
And it's still there.
Oh, I was going to the Mark Anthony concert. Remember?
That was before the Mark Anthony concert, though.
Really? I thought that's the day we started talking.
Was it that same day?
Yeah, we started talking like the day of the Mark Anthony concert.
It might have been that day. Day.
So I guess we first started talking to each other because of a mutual friend, but we first actually met each other face to face physically was when you came down from, was it Virginia?
I came down from Virginia training, and that's the first time we met. Well, we've met before that, but not as boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever.
Sure, but we were
no, but I met you at the mall and I said hi to you one time.
Oh yeah. Oh, true. Yeah, but we have seen each other.
We saw each other, but we never
at parties.
Correct, at parties.
That is true. We've seen each other before we even started dating, or even exactly. We would just say hi. Right, exactly. Just say funny hi and stuff. We never, at least on my end, I never saw you like that. I was like, oh, this is Ron's friend. Hi, how are you? Right. But then look at us now. I know, almost 2 kids. 10 years later. 2 kids. It's crazy how life works, huh? Yeah. I would have never, in a million years. I would never imagine oh, this is going to be my husband. That's crazy. Now thinking about it, that day at the mall, I would have and when I said hi to you, I would have never thought you would have been my husband. That didn't even cross my mind. Yeah, going back to that Stefan, I'm like, damn, you're gonna be married to this girl. That is crazy, huh? That's pretty crazy. Wow, that kind of and I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I remember meeting you there at the food court. At the food court, yep, it was near the food court. I was with a friend. I can't remember who else. Yeah, this black dude. I think you were with. No.
You went with
I was not with a guy.
Yeah, you were. You were with
No, I wasn't. I was with one of my girlfriends.
Oh, okay, but no,
I wasn't walking around with a guy.
No, because I
had a friend who worked at the mall.
Because he was my friend and your friend. That's how we said hi. Because I said hi to him, and then I think he was talking to you at the time, and then we said hi to each other.
No, absolutely not. No, you were with Ron. The reason why I came, well, like we said hi to each other is because obviously I knew Ron and I knew Dimitri. Mm-hmm. Right? You were with those two.
I forget.
And then the only one I really didn't know was you, but I said hi to you because you were with people I know. And then I was with one of my girlfriends.
I don't remember seeing a girl there. I thought it was a dude.
No, I for
okay, whatever. It doesn't really matter at this point.
It doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
I know for sure it wasn't a guy.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think I know who you're talking about.
And he's worked in the store. He was working. He was working at the time.
Yeah, but I wasn't walking with him. He was a friend of mine.
Right.
But like we never had a thing.
No, I'm not saying you guys had a thing.
Yeah, but I wasn't even walking with him.
Like I don't remember. I would see him at I just remember I said what's up to him because he was one of our friends as well, and then you were there, and I said what's up to you.
Yeah.
And that's basically how it played out. I didn't even see another girl or anything, but whatever.
You only saw me.
No, I saw you at the time, but yeah, because we were doing other, I forgot what we were there for, but yeah. But yeah, that's how we met. That's how everything.
We have a whole video on that actually.
Yeah, like story time. There's like a story time video.
Don't even watch it because it's probably so cringy.
So old.
Yeah, it's probably so cringy. Like I actually don't want you guys watching that video.
Yeah, there's a lot of older videos on this channel. Like if you guys just go look, there's like, well, they're not cringy, but it's
I think they're cringy.
Well, sure, but there's like young us, not reactions, just like there's vlogs, there's
those are actually the vlogs are pretty cool.
Videos, but all of those things are on the channel. But yeah, that was the question. So now we could get into anime.
We cannot.
No, we got like a couple
minutes.
No,
we have 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll get okay. Anime of the week. So anime of the week.
So we have Chainsaw Man. We have
this week has been kind of.
It was
good. I think Bleach was probably my anime of the week.
Me too.
Bleach, the backstory with Misaki, Ishin, basically, Ichigo's mom and dad and everything.
My Hero.
My Hero was awesome, but not this week. I think anime of the week was My Hero last week.
Sure.
That's what I was gonna say, which was, who would have thought that My Hero would have beat out Bleach and Chainsaw Man, and My Hero beat him last week.
Yeah.
So, and the week before that, I think it was Chainsaw Man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but this week I gotta give it to Bleach. Bleach, I really like the backstory of Masaki, Ishin, and obviously the whole Quincy thing and how Quincy. And actually, people in the comments were saying that actually Masaki is not related to Ryu because how she called Ryu's mom auntie, and we were saying, is Uryu and Ichigo related now? They're cousins. People were saying that's just a custom that Japanese people do. Like they call older people auntie or uncle
as like respect,
as like a sign of respect.
So they're not related.
Yeah, they're not related. That's what people. But to me, as a Western viewer, like, how do you expect me to know?
No,
that?
That's very true.
I'm not gonna know that, like,
because we're not. That's not part of our culture.
Correct. If somebody calls someone auntie, I'm thinking they're related. Like that's what I'm going for. But yeah, so obviously I guess she was taken in by them because she was a pure blood Quincy, and they want to keep pure blood Quincy's alive still and around because there's non-pure blood Quincy's, which is the one that was serving Ryu at the time, and people were saying they're surprised that I figured out that she was Uryu's mom because of the blushing. So the blushing kind of gave it away. Yeah. People were saying, yeah, like that's actually true. Like that is Uryu's mom. So yeah, so very interesting stuff there.
I think Bleach would definitely be anime of the week for me too. Chainsaw Man, it was good. Like I feel like every episode, has been great. It was just like a slower pace. It was kind of like a chiller episod from like what we're used to, which is fine. But I'm gonna give it to Bleach for this week.
Yeah, this week of Chainsaw, it definitely felt a little slower pace. We were kind of building towards something.
Yeah,
and
like we're going somewhere.
Yeah,
Aki, going up a mountain.
Yeah, and Aki's currently fighting right now and stuff. And we met some new fiends and devils. And stuff,
yeah, we did. Yeah, that was
pretty cool. But nothing major story wise, nothing crazy fights or anything like that. So maybe this week coming up, and obviously Bleach is gonna be like an hour-long episode as well.
Because we're coming to a close.
Correct, we're coming to a close.
Oh, we just finished JoJo. Oh, the last episode of
JoJo.
I know
y'all need to start watching. Y'all need to watch that finale of JoJo was just. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, we can't get too deep into it, but we just finished watching it before we started recording for this podcast.
Yeah.
But I almost cried. It was so beautiful. It was an amazing. You know what? Damn. Can it be anime of the week? Because we just watched it today.
No, I don't think I don't think it's being out bleached. No, none of those episodes are being bleached for me.
I thought the last episode
they were really good. They were really good, but yeah, I'd still give it to Bleach. But yeah, guys, that's anime of the week. We got no more time, so we're gonna go ahead and close out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. Link in the description below.
Definitely, guys. See you guys later. StruckByBelz out.